Hi everyone. Today is Monday, November the 29th, 2021. And hi Jean, my friend from Australia, from Perth. So Jean wrote me an email last week saying, my goodness, I worry about you. It looks like you're living out of your car. Yes. Well, here's what I have to say about that. When you have three kids who go to different schools, well, fortunately not all three go to different schools, but when you have three kids who go to different schools and you have to, and they're all under 16, and you have, well, one is 16 but is hesitating on on starting to drive, but in any case that's a different topic. Well, may not be a different topic. I might actually talk about that in terms of this metaverse business, and why I think that there's some truth to sort of that in terms of where this new generation is going. But in any case, when you have three kids that are that need to be driven everywhere, and when you've kind of been out of practice driving for 15 months and you've had a nice little break of just being at home and relaxing in a way, then yeah, it does feel like I'm on the road a lot during the day. But thanks to technology, there are a lot of things I can listen to on this. There's a lot of books I can listen to, textbooks I can listen to, research articles I can listen to, and things that I can write very easily, despite everything. So yeah, that's that. Let's see, what do I want to talk about today? Yeah, so this metaverse business. Oh my goodness. Okay, this has been something that's a bit hard for me personally to wrap my head around, because the way I view it is it's just another it's like an extension of it's an extension of addiction, and in that sense it's a bit of exploitation. But what do I know? Maybe I'm wrong about it. Maybe that's what I at this moment I'm thinking of that movie, The Croods, where that caveman dad is telling his son, like, enough of the moving window, because this boy is like he keeps staring at this this square thing that he places it everywhere, and he's always looking at it, and and it's like a parody on the iPad. And then when I was small, I was really hooked on this device that was called Speak and Spell. It was made by Texas Instruments, and I don't even remember who gifted it to me when I was small. But I grew up in Bombay in India, and someone who came from America gifted me this thing, and I would just not let go of it. It was called Speak and Spell. It was made by TI, by Texas Instruments, and it was the best thing ever. This robot voice would correct my spelling and keep giving me harder and harder spellings on based on what I get right, and I loved it, and I loved it so much. And this is before before the reusable, rechargeable battery thing, and so I used to go through batteries like mad. And my poor dad, he would buy me batteries again and again without complaining about how expensive they'd be. And but I was very hooked on that thing. And and I know, like, that when people would come over to our house, they'd be like, get her off that thing. And then people would also, like, my dad would complain about, like, some of my cousins who would be what would they say, glued to the idiot box, because in those days, like, there were black and white TVs, but we had, even like when the color TV came out, it was like, this new addiction that, when I was growing up in our house, my dad actually had a cabinet built for that TV, and the cabinet doors used to open out like this, like outward, like not very space saving. And he put like a thing on that and drew a line on the floor, because he insisted that we stay 5 feet away from the screen, because, like, of the rays that the TV would emit and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, whatever, crazy talk, but whatever. So even back in those days, I feel like the previous generation would have a thing about, like technology wariness, I would say, that I don't want my kid getting too stuck on this TV. And then, of course, now, it's about or rather, when my kids were born, it was about the iPad. And I remember, like, for me, like, this wake up moment was like when my youngest, I think he was 2 years old, and all he did was he pulled my thumb and put my thumb on the iPad. Yeah, that's all he wanted. He just wanted my thumb for the iPad so that it would unlock it. And I was like, holy shit, this little child knows that, like, my thumbprint is the key to open that thing. And then beyond that, he can just go for it. And I was like, oh God, what is this? Yeah, and then in 2018, I didn't, like, go off of Facebook or anything drastic like that. I just, honestly, it was a very practical matter. I did not want to buy a new iPhone, and my iPhone was running out of storage, and I was like, you know what, my Facebook takes up a lot of my storage, so I deleted the Facebook app. Also, it was Advent time, and so I said, you know what, I'll give up Facebook for Advent, and I deleted the app. And I was like, well, yeah, by then, like, maybe I'll offload some of my photos and stuff, and then I'll reinstall it back. But I got so productive during that time that I never bothered to reinstall it. And now I pretty much only have LinkedIn, I have YouTube, and I have Audible. That's it. And for everything else, I use my phone like a real phone. Like a call me, it'll ring, and I will actually pick up type of phone. And so in that sense, I've kind of gone reverse metaverse, maybe. Nevertheless, I've been listening to some of the arguments that are pro metaverse, and they do make sense from this whole from the whole deflationary narrative, from the viewpoint of okay, and this might get a little controversial, but I have looked up the work on this topic by two psychologists. One is Dr. Warren Farrell, and also an interview between Dr. Warren, wait, is his name Warren Farrell or Will Farrell? No, Will Farrell is the actor. Dr. Warren Farrell, The Boy Crisis, and Dr. Jordan Peterson. Dr. Warren Farrell, yes, Dr. Farrell, in case I have his first name wrong, is right here actually in the, not in the Bay Area, but maybe the North Bay, north of San Francisco area. And Dr. Jordan Peterson, for those of you who don't know, is Canadian. And they have a really great interview on video games and why men are retreating into video games, and this thing about and also related to, like, ADHD type symptoms, and the need for, like, not instant gratification, but like a quicker form of gratification that is much harder to get in real life and in anything that demands that sort of specialization. Because let's face it, even if you're passionate about a topic or a field or anything, in every field there is a level of monotony and and just tedium, right? I mean, even when you sing, you don't just go off and act like a rock star on the stage or whatever. You have to warm up your voice a lot, right? And do that every day, and and drink a little salt water and ginger and all that stuff. And so there's always some nonsense and some crap that goes with any sort of excellence. However, in a video game, in the metaverse, you don't need to do that, because at least like from the games I know, like you get quick rewards for like little levels, right? For every level. And then there are ways to like buy tokens and then get to the next level. Even if you are not playing at that level, you can use the tools of that level if you buy said tokens or buy Robux or whatever else. So that sort of mechanism, coupled with like macroeconomic deflationary, easy money printing, easy money availability, stimmy check type policies, and access to be able to acquire such tokens, especially if it is incentivized, in a system as a means sort of even to reduce crime, because if you're playing, say, a game on a video game, it's in a sense like, I'm just like putting on my like sort of not government hat, but like thinking like somebody who's in that space. One might argue that it's safer to keep a more angry and frustrated populace distracted with such kind of distractions in like gun type of video games, or like a violent-ish kind of video games, relative to having access to such sort of things in the real world where they can do real collateral damage. And who knows where it can be taken to the even next level, where a player can put on a thing, a virtual reality set, and think that they are doing virtual damage, but really, if like the military owns the game, so to speak, and where such gamers can be actually used as soldiers for military operations in a different country with the bots on the other side. Just saying. So the applications for this sort of lifestyle, lifestyle are certainly there. The ethos, at least in like the preteen age group, is also there. And another disturbing trend, of course, is that with the pandemic lockdowns, that has kind of increased for sure. And the more scary trend is, among say middle class-ish people, I've seen that there's that kind of trend towards gaming and whatever. And but in the children, because I have met children, as part of my psychology studies, as children of like the poorer demographic, and I'll just say the politically incorrect maybe word of the poorer demographic, who don't have stable housing, who don't have who maybe come from single parent households where the mother is moving from one person's house to another, living in their living room, etc. Couch surfing in a way. And say a child is the oldest, and the parent, the mother, typically has youngest baby who has been born who's born during these pandemic times, and then the mother is taking care of such a baby, and then the mother is busy working, but the teen girl is taking care of the baby, and is having like ADHD symptoms. You can see how that whole I personally I would not say that that such a kid has ADHD, and I actually said as much to her teacher. I was like, you know what, just look at this child's life. Anybody with this kind of life would have these kind of would be distracted and exhausted, obviously. Like, this is not, I would not say this like, what, you want me to check box 6 symptoms on one side and 6 on the other? No. But in any case, I digress. When you see people from a poor demographic getting no real support, but simply having their symptoms medicated away, that begs the question, what sort of then, later on, like a young adult culture are we breeding? Yes, literally breeding. What sort of a young adult culture are we breeding? What sort of a culture are we breeding? And on the one side, of course, there's the growth in the metaverse stocks. Roblox went from what, $75 or $76 in September to like $140 last week, and it fell, like, maybe, I don't know if it's on downtrend or not, but then but still, Jesus, 76 to like almost 140, that's insane. Like, over what? Well, I can tell you over what. Over this metaverse business, or like digital token type currency things, all these kind of things. So there's, on the one hand, there's that, where people who will be aware of the trend will gain, but then at whose cost, in a way? And who's the stakeholder, really? Anyway, so that's my thought for today. Okay. Thank you for listening. Bye.